and action.
Hold on, I'm just thinking about what I'm going to say.
Another beautiful day here in Beverly Hills.
Yeah. Okay. So we're back at Beverly Hills.
Not at Beverly Hills.
Did I say at?
All right, this one we got it.
Am I switched on, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. So we are in glorious Beverly Hills today, and we are at Rumi Antiques, and we are going to show you something we've never shown you before: the world's most expensive clocks, as well as a bunch of great antiques and also some art and whatever else Arash shows us. So let's go see him and let's go see some fun stuff. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Good to see you again.
Good to see you again.
How's everything?
Good, very good.
Hello, mate.
Hello. Alan, how are you?
How you doing?
Good to be back. So today you're going to show us some of the world's most expensive clocks, right?
Exactly.
Or the most expensive clocks.
Exactly. We have so many clocks to show you. I'm very excited. They're usually clocks that were made either in the 19th century or even in the 18th century. I want to show you, let's start with this one. This one, as you see, it's a clock set. So we call them clock sets because there's a pair of candelabras with a clock.
So a question for you.
Sure.
I'm a novice when it comes to this, and I see a lot of these clock sets with the candelabras. Why do they pair candelabras with clocks?
Actually, it's a very good question. These were made in the 19th century or 18th century. And at that time, there was no electricity. So when they wanted to see the time, to see what time it was at night, they had to have these candelabra so that they can read, you know, if there was if not at night, they wouldn't be able to see what time it was.
That makes so much sense.
That's why you have
Never thought about that. So they're so simple, right? Yeah. Why is the candelabras with clocks?
Exactly. So this one is actually made out of bronze. So the cupids, you know, they're made out of bronze. And what is interesting about this one is the malachite. As you know, malachite is an expensive stone. It's even used in jewelries. So it's a very interesting piece because it has the malachite with the bronze.
How much is a piece like this?
This one is, we can sell it for $150,000. It's actually a very good price for this clock set.
When you think about a watch, a wristwatch, and then you think about something like this, how can you even compare it? The amount of work that went into making this.
Exactly.
Wow. And this is one of your lesser expensive ones,
This
right?
is exactly, yes.
My eye is drawn to this.
Oh, very interesting piece.
May I touch it?
Sure. It's actually in excellent condition. This piece, this piano, was actually made by Francois Link, who was one of the most famous furniture maker of the 19th century. And what is very important is he would usually sign his pieces, and there's a signature here, and it says F. Link or F. Linky.
How much is a piece like this?
It's you can purchase this for $250,000, $250,000. They're very rare. You would rarely find a piano that was made by Francois Link, and it's an exceptional piece.
And it will go up in value, right?
Definitely. This one is also a very interesting clock set. Again, we mentioned.
Looks so heavy.
Yes, they're again made out of bronze. The interesting part of this clock set is that it's made out of bronze, but gilt bronze with the 24 karat gold gilding that they were doing in the 19th century, and patinated bronze. So the combination of the two-tone color makes it very beautiful. In terms of size, you rarely would see a clock set of this size and quality. The quality is really exceptional. You have to keep in mind that these were made in the 19th century and they had no tools, there was no machines or anything. They were all made by hand.
How much is a piece like this or a set like this?
This one, we can sell it for $500,000.
Wow.
It's just
$500,000.
unbelievable. You know, it's in terms of quality, you would rarely see a clock set of this quality and work.
It makes you wonder, when you think about watches in general and the way that they go up in value, even back in the 18th and 19th century, I mean, what would this have cost back then? Like
very difficult to say, but I would say probably 30 to 40,000 francs. Like,
Which
because
back
it
then
was, which
would
back
have
then
been
was a lot of money.
Yeah,
Only
$5,000
a
maybe.
very- $5,000, yes, probably. But only limited people, royalty or very like, how would I say,
Affluent
well
people?
off,
Yes, affluent people.
affluent people would be
There's another one with the,
able to purchase
with
these.
the bull.
Yes, it's another very interesting piece because it's also, again, two-tone. A lot of people like the fact that it's two-tone with the bull and signed, you know, and then...
How old is this piece?
Same thing, this is what also was made in the 19th century, and it's circa, I would say, 1860s.
And the cost of this piece?
The cost of this piece is 125,000.
And this piece here, is that diamonds around it? Oh, Tiffany and Co.
Tiffany.
Is it Tiffany
Yes,
and
this
Co?
is an interesting piece because Tiffany would actually retail these in the 19th century. These would be made in France, but for Tiffany.
And this is worth today how much?
It's worth around 85,000.
See, I would have thought that one would have been more because it's Tiffany and Co. So it just shows you, right?
It's because also the smaller size. You know, the other pieces were
Much
monumental size is much bigger.
These are rather large.
Yes.
Are they significant?
Yes, exactly. These are porcelain, bronze and porcelain vases. You would rarely see them in this size, and especially in this condition, because they're probably 250 years old. They were also made in the 19th century, again around the 1850s, 1860s. That's when they would make these. Everything made by hand, the hand painted, you know, like all this work is very, very difficult. This is all on porcelain that they did this raised gold, which is not easy, you know.
What is the current
accomplish.
Value today?
The current value of this is 1.2 million.
1.2 million.
Yes.
Stand away from that. Do
I
not
know,
look that
I
over.
don't feel comfortable here anymore.
You'll see them in smaller sizes, but to find them in this condition, this size, that's very, very rare.
Wow.
And that's 1.2 for the pair.
For the pair.
Wow.
Yes. You know,
Incredible.
it's a very important point that you mentioned. A lot of times you'll see just one because one of them would break and only one would be available. This one was made as a pair, and it's still, you know,
It's still a pair, and they look like
condition,
they were
yes.
made yesterday. I mean,
Yes.
quite amazing.
Exactly. We have some very beautiful clocks. This is actually a very interesting one.
This is a clock?
It's a clock, yes. It's an interesting clock because it's actually a rotary clock. You know, the way this works is that this dial turns, and if you see you see the numbers like 1, 2, 3, so it shows you the time. And it is a sign piece. It's a very important, again, made by Henri Dasson in 1889. You see a signature here.
That's amazing.
So, and it represents the 3 graces. So it's
And the cost of this piece?
250,000. This one is made out of bronze.
Cupids.
Exactly. The bronze work is exceptional. You know, one thing that is very important here is that usually when you see these pieces, throughout time, the gilding usually goes away and it becomes less desirable when it doesn't show the original gilding. This original gilding is almost perfect. It's, you know, it's like exactly like the 19th century, because in the 19th century they would gild these with 24 karat gold, and this one has perfect gilding. Some of them lose their gilding depending on where they're stored. Let's say if they're in the sunlight or somewhere where they're not, they don't take care of them, the gilding would be gone. But this one has perfect gilding, and that's very important for clock collectors. And
so a set like this would go for how much?
I would say it would go for $250,000. 250,000. Again, this is another one that
I just have to ask you
Sure.
something. This looks like a miniature coffin.
Oh, actually, this is a very interesting piece.
Doesn't it?
Let me show you actually what this is. You know, this is a music box that was made in Switzerland in actually the 19th century.
That's
And
incredible.
let me actually, it's in perfect condition, perfect working condition. And let me show you actually how it works. It has 8 different tunes, and let me make it work for you.
Wow!
All made by hand. Very exceptional piece.
Can you believe that, Adam?
That's unreal.
Unreal. Birds tweeting.
I know.
The wings. Watch the wings on the bird. Even they flap. That is incredible.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's unbelievable that they would make all this by hand, you know, with no real tools.
I've never seen anything like this. Have you, Adam?
That's unbelievable.
Okay, so wow. I mean,
We'll have to move away from it to talk. I know.
You're very close
I
to
know.
something that looks ridiculously expensive.
Exactly. We'll get to it in a second.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How much is this?
This
And
piece,
can we switch it off?
sure. It's gonna turn off by itself.
Oh.
We can actually turn it off to like that.
Oh,
Okay?
nice.
So we switch it off. We can close it
An
so that dust
amazing,
doesn't
amazing
get
piece.
inside. Yes. So,
How much is that guy?
How much? Something like that would go for $750,000.
Wow. And worth every penny.
I was just about to say.
I would have thought more than that.
Yeah.
You know where the
That's
money's
a
going.
Exceptional piece. Yes.
I mean, just crazy piece. There's
Unbelievable.
another clock.
Oh, actually, this is a very important desk. It was made again. You remember I mentioned earlier François Link,
Yes.
who was the most important French furniture maker of the 19th century. This is actually a book that shows most of the furnitures he made, and actually this piece he only made one of these ones, and it's on page 212 of the Linky book.
So the desk is with the clock.
Exactly. Yes.
And there's only one of these.
He made only one of these, and it's actually, if you read page 212, it will mention that only one was made by François Link. It's actually signed piece. Not only is signed on the dial, there is another signature on the bronze, which, if you find it, I'll give you a I'll give you a gift. But it's right here. You see, this is actually F Linky. You see, every time he. Yes.
So being a one of one in like brand new condition, how
Very good
much is
condition.
this?
You know, people could easily ask, you could ask anything for it, because I honestly don't think that even you would find a piece like this in the Louvre Museum. But we are asking 1.5 million for it, but it could easily go for 2.5 million.
Incredible.
You know, something like
Incredible.
this. Yeah, because it's exceptional, and only one was made. Very important. Most of the pieces Linky made, he made several, not just one. This one, he only made one.
I'm just thinking to myself, so we've done videos in exotic car showrooms and jewelry stores with crazy amounts of diamonds. We're looking at more money in this store than anywhere I think we've ever seen. I mean, it's crazy the amount of
Probably.
high value items. I mean, these vases, you
Again,
have them
yeah,
everywhere.
Exceptional. And you just mentioned these vases. The most important on these is to look at the exceptional quality of the painting. Unbelievable. They're signed Labarre, who was probably #1 in terms of painting.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Sure.
Adam just backed into.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No,
you
he's
missed
careful.
it.
No, I didn't.
He's careful. It's
I was
okay.
pretty close.
You
I'm
touched it. I saw it
Yeah.
wobble. How much would that have been if he'd have knocked it over?
This one is made out of silver.
Oh, it's
again,
cheap. It's only silver.
It's not. It's okay. He could have afforded this.
Yeah,
So it was okay.
But could he afford the vases?
But those vases, for example, you have to be very, very careful. Yes.
How much are these vases?
These vases, we can sell them for 250,000.
For the pair?
For the pair.
And that's why they're kept away from Adam.
Again, it's very important because it's a pair.
This is a very odd looking.
Sure.
It looks very different.
Very interesting clock again, because this clock was actually ordered, it was made for the Chinese market. It's also an automated clock, again, very complicated movement. Again, you have to keep in mind that this was actually made in the 18th century, not 19th.
So 1700s.
Exactly. These clocks are very expensive. Very few were made.
These are all expensive.
Yes,
how much is this one?
This one is 1.5 million. Yes.
Wow, what does it do? Anything?
Let me show you. Actually, I have to wind it, and then you'll see what it does.
What was it like back then?
Who are you talking to? That's not nice. That's really not nice. That is insane.
Exceptional, because
it goes backwards and forwards. You see that? It reversed.
Everything is turning.
Adam, look.
As I
Is that a waterfall?
Yes, with even those ducks and everything moving.
In the background.
You see? Yeah.
So the complication is crazy. Can you get the camera to the back of it as well? Because I'm sure people would like to see what's back there.
I'm just going to be very careful.
Be very careful. There's a $1 million vase behind you.
I don't like this, Michael.
Isn't that something?
That's unbelievable.
Step away.
I know. Look. Look at what you're making me walk through.
And this is how much? $1.5 million?
1.5. 1.5.
And worth every penny, I say.
They're very, very rare.
And for it to
Only
work.
a few were made. As I said, it was
1700s it was built.
Yes, 18th century. Very, very rare. Again, made for the Chinese market, and exceptional work.
They were truly exceptional. And perfect condition.
Perfect condition.
Where do you get these things?
Well, when we collect, it's the same as, watches throughout time. There are estate sales or auctions throughout the world, and we just...
So here's a question. If something were to go wrong with this, are there people that can fix them?
Of course, there are. All these clock sets can be serviced, and they will all be in working condition, even after 250 years.
Amazing.
Even if you need to change a part, they have the parts. They will be in working condition, because it would not be worth as much if it wouldn't be working.
Right, of course.
Has to be in the working condition.
So do you have anything very special left that you want to show us?
Sure, we can go back. I can show you. I have another automotive piece that I want to show you.
Well, I feel like I'm in Jurassic Park here.
Be careful, these are sharp.
What are these?
These are made out of silver. They're usually made by Bucciarati, the famous
protect myself.
Jewelry
I don't want to go.
maker
I'm
too.
staying here.
Sure, they're sharp. It's interesting, actually. You asked about these. These were also handmade, and it's a very unique technique that is done only in Italy. Every single piece, you see these furry animals, everything is made by hand. Something like that would go for $250,000, and then the smaller one would go for maybe a little bit less.
Just for one?
Just for one. Yeah, exactly.
Show us the bird box. I'm scared.
A lot of silver was made to...
They're sharp.
Make these, yes. So I wanted to show you this piece because we were just talking about automotive...
I'm too close to these. I'm literally...
Yeah.
Now you know how I felt.
How much are these?
For the clock set, it would be 2.5 million.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and join him on that side.
This one.
Yeah,
go that
I probably
side.
stepped on 50 grand here.
Yeah.
How much is this guy?
This guy is probably around, like you said, 50,000.
Oh, well, that was a good guess. Okay.
Yes.
I'm safer here.
And-
Gosh, 2.5 million?
Yes, this one, if you look at the bronze work, it's unbelievable.
I know, I just bashed that with my back.
Did you?
If you look at the face, for example, it's like you're gonna think that she's gonna start walking. You know, it's just so
Amazing.
amazingly done. It's like the gilding is unbelievable, and the quality of the painting on those porcelain vases is exceptional. Yeah, let me tell you about this. This is, again, we were talking about automative clocks. This is a bird cage, very unique because it was also made in the 19th century. Same thing, you have the porcelain plaques, handmade porcelain plaques. The rest of it is made out of bronze. And the interesting piece is that it is again, in perfect working condition.
How old is this?
This one is 200, as I said, 19th century, which is 1850s.
Wow.
In the 1850s.
It looks brand new, Adam.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Again, it's very difficult to find these in working conditions, you know, like this.
Incredible.
Perfect.
So I have a question to ask you. When we used to come to see Yossi, you know, he would occasionally take us into a vault. I'm assuming the vault is still there. And since you have multi-million dollars worth of everything here, do you have anything special in the vault?
I actually do.
What do you have?
So I have a beautiful, beautiful coin collection. And
I can only imagine.
Very, very interesting coin collection.
Can we see
that
it?
I can show you, of course.
Well, I think realistically this video is really long. So why don't we make a cut? We'll make this a unique video and we'll do another video right now with the coins. Sound good?
Sure. Perfect.
So guys, I hope you enjoyed this. This is crazy stuff. The most expensive clocks in the world, plus all these other beautiful things that we'll, I'm sure, do lots of videos with. So you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. We're in it to win it. Tweet, tweet.